Hi, I'm Liv and today I'm going to do my 1 month update of my Kindle Paperwhite. I want to say there will be thunder, there will be rain in this video. I'm very sorry. I can't control the weather unfortunately, and it's like a real storm out there. Really fall vibes, and it's July. I don't like summer that much, so I'm really happy it's fall. Vibes are immaculate today. So I got my Kindle in June, and I bought the 32GB version, and this is the black version, and I got mine off John Lewis. I got mine for £149, I'm pretty sure, which is quite a bit off from £179, which is the price that you regularly would pay for it. I also got 3 months of Kindle Unlimited free trial, and yeah, I got the regular charger. I didn't get the fancy charger, which I do want to get at some point though. Before getting a Kindle, I didn't read basically ever. I got back into reading in May, and I hadn't picked up a book before May since 2020. I realised how much I read, and when I was out and about, I usually would read on my phone and my eyes would hurt. Like, it's really obvious, like if you stare at your phone for like hours and hours a day, your eyes are gonna hurt because of like trying to focus on it in the blue light and everything. So I looked into Kindles because I knew that Kindles didn't affect your eyes the way that a phone did. So I was very much adamant that that would be better for me. Trying to work out whether or not it'd be worth me getting a Kindle and how much I'd read on a Kindle, because I wasn't sure if a Kindle was going to be different to a book. Like, obviously it's different, but I didn't know how different it was going to be, and if it was going to be a good change or a bad change. So in this video I'm going to talk about whether or not I'd recommend a Kindle, my pros and cons about it, how I found it, just bits and pieces like that, and I'm going to tell you the accessories that I also bought for it, because I bought a couple. I bought a clear case, which you can see is around the edges. Mine, by the way, is the no ads version, because I didn't want adverts on my Kindle, because God knows what adverts would come up for different books, like spicy books, and I just don't want that popping up. So this isn't a flip case, this is just one that goes in the back, and I decorated mine with pictures from Gilmore Girls. So here's mine. I've got Luke Steiner. This is a Lorelai Gilmore quote that says, "Life's short, talk fast." I've got Dean and Rory up here and some cinema tickets. I've got a Luke Danes quote here, which is, "This thing we've got going here." What? No. "This thing we're doing here. You, me, I'm in. I'm all in." I love that quote. Luke, which is here, just under the pop socket. And we've got Lorelai and Rory, Logan and Rory, and down here is the Dragonfly Inn, and in the background is just two different pictures of like scrapbook sort of aesthetics. That's what I looked up on Pinterest, and it's like old parchment sort of writing. Got this pop socket as well because, well, I'll just be honest, holding a Kindle can be like a bit like awkward because of how big it is, and like holding your phone, you just kind of like put it between your hand like that, but with this it's kind of like a little bit awkward, especially with the off button being on the bottom. And so using a pop socket, I felt like it worked a bit better. So my pop socket says "just one more chapter," and it's got a little book open, which I thought was super cute, and it's defo me. Things I bought was a case and a stand. So the case I bought, I actually wanted a sleeve because Kindles scratch very easily. I've got scratches all over the front of my Kindle. Luckily it doesn't really affect me reading the book at all. You don't really notice it unless the light is directly shining onto your Kindle at certain angles, but the front of it does scratch very easily. So I bought a sleeve of Etsy. This has bumblebees all over it, and I just thought it was really cute. And this is just what goes over the button. The accessory I got was a stand. So this stand I got on Amazon, and it's just a piece of plastic. So you just push out this, and then you set this at whatever angle you want it to be at. If you want it at that angle, that, and so on. Like, go all the way back to here if you want to. Stand your Kindle in it, and that way when I'm eating things or if I'm doing stuff, I can just prop it up on my desk, on my table, and just carry on doing what I'm doing. In the space of a month, I have read nearly every book I have read on my Kindle. I have read so much that it's actually ridiculous how I haven't had this like for so long. I don't know what it is about having a Kindle, but it makes you want to read more because there's so much available to you. And I feel like this is going to go into like the pros and cons, this is what I'm going to say, but the fact that you can just buy any book and it appears straight on your Kindle is just, it's a nice feeling. It's like, oh, okay, I can buy this now and I'll be able to read it straight away. Whereas if you're getting like physical copies of things, you will have to make sure they're definitely in store, or you have to wait for them to arrive, and that can be a bit annoying. So when you've got a book and you're like, I just want to read it, going on your Kindle, knowing you've got a Kindle, sometimes it's like, I feel more of a want to read because I know that all these books are available to me online. I actually want to figure it out. I've written down all the books that I've read because I keep a book diary, okay? If you'll know this if you watched my June wrap up, which I'll put in the cards now, or my July TBR I'll put in the cards as well. My wrap up, I have read a lot of books and I remember which ones of these were on my Kindle, which ones were physical. So I'm going to see how many I've actually read on my Kindle, so give me like 2 ticks. I've read a lot of books on my Kindle. I've read 17 books on my Kindle so far since I got it in June, and I love it. I really do. And I feel like there's a couple of things I want to go over with it, with like the cons and the pros. I think the pros about this Kindle is the fact that the battery life is insane. I have read every single day since I've got this Kindle. I've read on my Kindle every single day, and I think I've charged it 3 times maybe in the space of a month. I find that the charge on it lasts really well, considering I read all day every day for at least 5 hours, and I haven't had to charge it for like days. I think that's just insane. I think another pro about having a Kindle is Kindle Unlimited, and I know this is a service that you pay £10 a month for, but you get 3 months free trial with it anyway, and I think that's amazing. I mean, all the books that I've read so far have been off Kindle Unlimited, bar I think about 3. So I actually haven't bought that many books for my Kindle, and I have read a lot of them on Kindle Unlimited, and I feel like Kindle Unlimited is actually really amazing. And I know people say, oh, but you have to send the books back. Yeah, you do. However, how often do you reread books? Unless they like really leave a stamp on you, I don't tend to reread any of my books unless they've really affected me or I really want to read them again. In fact, there are books in my bookshelf that I look at and I'm like, I'm glad I've read that, but now you're just taking up space in my shelf. And with Kindle Unlimited, obviously you send the books back. I think that's great because it clears up space on your Kindle. The way that I can just take so many books with me, around with me in my bag and go anywhere is just like, I really like that. I feel like you can weigh yourself down with a lot of books, and I go through books really quickly. It takes me like 2 days maximum to read a book, unless it's got like 700, 800 pages, then it'll take me like 4. But it doesn't take me long to read a book. So if I went away, I'd take my Kindle rather than taking like hundreds of books, because it's all in one place and that's just easier. It saves space. Books are cheaper than paperback books, I will tell you that now. I have bought Kindle books on my Kindle. On one of the books that I bought was 99p, because I'm guessing because you have to print the book, they can do them cheaper on Kindle. So I paid 99p for one of my books. It was actually for You've Reached Sam, which is a brilliant book. And again, 99p, that's literally nothing. I love the percentage at the bottom. I don't know what it is about seeing the percentage. It's almost like it's a motivation. I like both the percentage, the page number, I like to look at because I do my Goodreads. I'll put my Goodreads actually down below. I think my name on it is just Olivia, and it's a picture of me. I also like the reading speed time. So there are 2 different reading time estimates they give you. They give you how long they think it will take you to finish the chapter, how many minutes, and then how long they think it will take you to finish the book. And I love that because it gives me a good indication of where I'm going to be within the next like hour in the book, and it gives me a good indication whether or not I'm going to be able to finish the book in the day. And I just like that. I don't know what it is about it. It in a way, it helps me plan out my day more. Kindles are in black and white. I didn't know if you knew that or not, but they are in black and white. So the covers are in black and white. But if you get the Kindle app, which I've got on my phone, you can look on your phone and all the book titles will all be in colour, and all the book fronts. What am I trying to say? The front covers, book art, book covers. All the book covers will be in colour on your phone. On Kindle, there is also like an insights section. So on this insight section, you can see how many books that you've read in the year. You can set yourself a goal, and if you click on the insights, it will show you all the books that you have read this year. Even if you've sent them back to Kindle Unlimited, it will tell you which ones you have read. And I just really like that. It's like, I like being able to keep track of like how many books I've read. It's like a little competition with myself. I'm trying to think of any cons that I've got. I feel like the only cons I have are the fact that it can scratch like super easily, but if you get a case, obviously this isn't something to worry about. The lag on it, but you don't really tend to type much unless you're leaving notes. That's also another thing. If you link up your Goodreads with your Kindle, any highlights that you take of the book or notes that you make will go through to your Goodreads app, and you can basically choose if you want these notes to be public or private. I public them because I just think they're quite fun, and I like reading other people's highlights too. And I like this because I feel like it puts them all in that place, and I like that. I want to talk about gigabytes. So I have 32 gigabytes, and you definitely do not need 32 gigabytes. You could go with like 16 or 8. That would be perfect for you as well. I personally just love books too much, and I know that I will fill this to the brim. So I have a lot of books on here. I'm not kidding. I had 102 from Stuff Your Kindle Day, which I'll go into in a minute. I think I've got 150 books on here, and as I said, the Kindle I have is the 32 gigabyte. A lot of these books are mine as well to keep because they're from Stuff Your Kindle Day, which I will tell you about in a second. And bear in mind, 32 gigabyte, a couple gigabytes will go to the background storage and stuff, and usually the software. So let's see how much I have left. I have 27 gigabytes free. So I've got 150 books on my Kindle, and with the software as well in the background, it uses like a gigabyte. I have used a grand total of 5 gigabytes. That's insane. Like, it literally holds thousands and thousands of books on here. Then I got some of my books from Stuff Your Kindle Day, which is actually Stuff Your ebook day. So there are 4 times of year, 4 like seasons basically. In every season there is a book day, which Amazon has linked up with some romance authors, and they are sponsored by them, and there's a certain day, and that is where hundreds of thousands of books are free on Amazon, and you can just buy them for £0 and 0 pence, and they will appear straight into your Kindle. You can get as many books as you want. This year I got 102, and this was my first year having this whole Stuff Your Kindle Day. It's known as Stuff Your Kindle Day. It is Stuff Your ebook day, and I just want to make that clear because a lot of people on TikTok were like in a huff about the fact that people say Stuff Your Kindle Day, and then they get, oh, it's not just for Kindles. Like, it is for just ebooks in general. You could just get it off your phone if you wanted to. I like this event, and I never knew about it until I got into Book Talk and into getting a Kindle and everything. So that is just another bonus about having a Kindle, is you can store hundreds of books on your Kindle, and that can help with Stuff Your Kindle Day. I'm actually trying to think of bad things about having a Kindle, but I can't really think about anything. I think my reading speed is pretty decent with it. I feel like I read really quickly on my Kindle. I mean, I read pretty quickly in general. I go through like a book a day as of right now. As of right now, it is the 9th of September. No, it's not. It's the 9th of July. What? It's the 9th of July, and I have read a grand total of 7 books because I just love reading. But yeah, my reading speed has been really good. I feel like with my Kindle I'm actually quite quick with it, and as I said, seeing like my this is how many minutes you have left in this chapter, I love that. It just helps me, and I'm quite competitive, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, I just like it, and I feel like it gives me just a good indication of how long it's going to actually take me to read this book. I feel like that might be everything. I just want to show you real quick what it looks like to turn on and stuff. So this is my Kindle, and if I turn it on, it does this. This is my Kindle library, and here is my homepage. That's how it all looks. At the top here, I've got from my library, Kindle Unlimited recommendations, which are all the books on Kindle Unlimited, which, by the way, I am thinking I'm probably going to get when my free trial runs out, because it's honestly phenomenal. Recommended for me, Kindle Unlimited list that I have, books that you may like in Kindle Unlimited. You can search books, and you can buy books through the Kindle, and I think that's really good, because On the phone, on the Kindle app, you cannot purchase books through that. You can purchase them through Amazon.com on Safari, but on the Kindle you can purchase books as long as you have Wi-Fi or connect it up to your mobile data. At the top here I've got all my most recent books that I've either bought or got through Kindle Unlimited or that I'm reading. So right now I'm reading If He Had Been With Me, and I've got Unfurl, The Way I Used to Be. And I also think it's really important to mention that when you've got a new book, they'll put this little banner on it and it says new. Or when you have read a book, it'll do a banner as well and it'll say read. So you just know when you have read things. And I think that's really helpful because sometimes I can look through and I'll be like, I don't remember, did we finish this book? And obviously it will say if you have or haven't. I actually don't mind the fact that we don't have colour on a Kindle. I think it's quite a nice aesthetic just having the black and white. And if you click on a book, so this is what it looks like. This is If He Would Have Been With Me. Right here at the bottom, without spoiling the book, we have the date, not the date, the time left in the book, which for this it's 3 hours and 58 minutes. And then over here we have the percentage. So sometimes this says word wise or word something. This is where you can basically turn this on and it'll do little square brackets over things. And if it's like complex words, it'll explain underneath what that word means. I don't turn this on really because I like to just hold down the word and have a look at it, which I haven't mentioned. I think one of the good things about Kindle is in books sometimes that the authors can use quite complex language or complex words or phrases that you kind of look at and you think, I have no clue what that actually means. With a Kindle, you can, I want to show you actually. With a Kindle, I can hold down a word. So I'll just show you. If I hold down Valentine's Day, it then comes up with a Wikipedia definition up here, and you can choose to highlight it, or if you want to note it, which is where you can actually highlight it and then write a note about it, and that'll appear in your Goodreads, and you can decide if you want it to be public or private. Then it also, if you swipe across, there's a translation section, which if there are different languages in the book and there isn't a translation, you can always put them in here and translate it if you want to know what they're saying. And there's also a dictionary definition area, which I usually just use the Wikipedia one because it just makes sense. It's the first thing that pops up and it gives you a definition or an explanation of what that means. This is where we have the option for the dark mode, which is here, and we have the option to have brightness and the warmth. If I tap the top, it does this. So down here we get the page number out of the total pages, the chapter, time left in book, and the percentage. If we click this, it zooms out like this and I can swipe through and look through the pages if I've lost my way. Or I can do the square and it shows me all the pages in the book. So I can see potentially how many pages I have left in a chapter, or if I've lost where I'm at, I can skip forward. We've got these little lines that you can click. These are all your chapters. So there's chapters in the contents page. In notes and highlights are all the notes that I have taken on this book so far. So I'll look at popular, which are popular highlights that other people have done, but I go into the yours column and these are all the notes that I have made so far. You can also look in the, if you click the ... there is an about this book that you can look at, and here it tells you the time total for it to read, how many pages. It says at the top is where you can look at the synopsis or the blurb, and it also says who's written the book, the stars it's got. You can also look at the cover of the book, which is this. I just clicked cover of the book, cover, there you are. And then at the bottom, as you can see, it says go back to page 121 or stay here. So if I click go back to 121, it takes me straight back to where I was. So if you jump forward by accident or anything, it will say do you want to go back to that page, and you can just pick to go back because it might be a slip up and they want to help you out. This is my update. I have found that I have loved this Kindle so much and I am so happy I bought it. I really like it and I hope you have enjoyed the book content recently. I've done a lot. I'm currently doing a reading 7 books in 7 days. So 7 emotion books or romance books in 7 days. So that should be up pretty soon. Hope you have enjoyed and I'll see you guys with another video soon. Go check out my old videos that I put up. They will be linked probably at the end of this video. Subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. If you want to see book content, I have a lot of shorts with book content. So go check that out and I'll see you guys later. Bye.